In today's IOB podcast, how long should your podcast intro be? And our critique of music musings, plus honorable mention to no thumbs up. You're listening to the IOB podcast. Our goal is to make you and your podcast the best. Welcome back to the IOB podcast, intro, outro, bed. Yeah, that's our website, and we make music for your podcasts. My name is Mike. TJ is the musician, and we are here to help you make your podcast the best. So today, the first thing we're going to talk about is how long should your podcast intro be? It's these little things that sometimes cause stumbling blocks for people. So we're just going to try and make it really, really simple. So the question again, how long should your podcast intro be? Short answer, short. Long answer, well, here we go. People want to get started. People have tuned in to your podcast to hear the show, to hear the subject, to get moving, to learn something, to laugh about something, to get your opinion. This is why they're here. So you want that intro to be short so that people can get into the show. Now, there are many ways to start a podcast, but the style that seems to get the most traction and keep the attention of your listeners is basically what I did for this show. I start off with an introduction of what's going to happen in today's podcast. We got some music, then there's the standard introduction, the welcome. And then the music fades out and you hear me talking and we get into the main subject. Does that make sense? So again, a 5-second to 10-second blurb about what this episode is about. Music up, music down. Welcome to the podcast. The purpose of our podcast is ABC, music up, music down, and fade. And as the music is fading, thank you for tuning in again to the podcast, blah, blah, blah. This is the idea. It's a very standard type of intro, but it really seems to work. There's a lot of activity, and the listener is programmed and ready to receive the information that you have. Now, at the very beginning, before the intro music, that section should be 5-10 seconds, not too long. Get to the main subject points. That's all you need to do. The music goes up. For the intro over the music, I've heard some podcasts go for 20 seconds. I've heard some podcasts go for 5 seconds. It doesn't really matter, but in my opinion, the shorter, the better. Let the music fade out, and then you begin. The music you've chosen will set the ambiance for the podcast. So keep that music in your head as you start the episode. Remember, the intro is probably something you're going to add in post-production, but let that music be in your head so that you can bop, 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 roll off the music and start your podcast. It's very important. This is just a really little tip, but it really is important. If you have any questions about intros, outros, bed music, transitions, TJ and I are here to help. Send us an email. You can send me an email, mike@introoutrobed.com, and TJ, contact@introoutrobed.com. We are here to help you. And remember, for the critiques, if we choose you to critique the format of your podcast, TJ is offering a free intro. That's a really, really excellent deal. 20 to 30 seconds of custom-made music just for you. And we will work with you on your intro to make it just right for your style, okay? So this is a really great opportunity. Don't neglect this simple, tiny step. It's going to make your podcast sound very professional. Podcast critique, music musing. Again, we have a great title for a podcast, music musing. Obviously, this podcast is going to be talking about music. The creator of this podcast is Craig. And I've got to say, Craig, great choice for your music intro. It's from the Free Music Archives, and you did a really fantastic job with the voiceover. Editing was fantastic. And by the way, your voice quality is excellent. Now, Craig used the perfect 30-second intro. It sounded great. But Craig, tell us your name. I mean, it's sometimes hard to catch who you are, especially in the middle of a podcast. So make sure you tell us, my name's Craig, at the beginning. I do recommend adding a CTA, a call to action, your email at the front too, because sometimes people don't get all the way to the end. But Music Musing feedback, I think is what it was, at gmail.com. It's an easy email address, but give it to us in the beginning too. And when you have your guests, and you got to use their names a lot more, because we want to know who we're talking to. You know, but we don't, especially if you're changing guests. So I want to hear the guest's name, and I think your guest should feel free to use your name too. And it really helps the flow. We can obviously hear the different voices, so we know this guy's talking and this guy's talking. But instead of this guy and this guy, it's better to say Brent and Craig. That would be much better. I liked your transitions. The audio quality with your guests is fantastic. Actually, I'm very curious what type of mics you're using, what type of software you're using. But it was just wonderful. On your older episodes, you know the deal. Copyright Danger. Lovin' Rockets Motorcycle is a fantastic song, and it worked perfectly with your older episodes. Obviously, that's something we want to be careful of. These days, you seem to be doing covers, and you're editing out the music, which is obviously what you need to do, and your transition sounded pretty darn good. You had a great CTA at the end, not only for your guest, but for you too. And Craig, if I can just give you one more piece of advice, what really, really works on iTunes and YouTube are for ratings. Thumbs up and ratings. Get people to leave a comment. It's very, very beneficial. Even if it's just, hi, I was here. Thumbs up. Really hit us up for the ratings and the likes and the 5 stars and whatever it is where people listen to. Very important, and that will help get your podcast out there more. And by the way, Craig is also repurposing on YouTube, and it's a very fantastic way to help get your podcast out there. Put it up on Facebook. I don't know what you can do on Instagram. See, I'm weak in this area. TJ is actually on Instagram a lot. So if you can put the full episode on Instagram, do that too. But again, CTA, call to action. Have your listeners participate. We want to. We just need to be told to. But if we're on YouTube already, then just say it. Hey, and if you're watching on YouTube, give me a thumbs up right now. Leave a comment. Say hi. It's so effective in the algorithms. People are going to be able to find you much more easily. And yeah, it's great. I really like it. TJ's offer is there, Craig. If you want an intro, just hit TJ up. Contact at Gmail. No, it's not Gmail. Contact at introoutrobed.com. And our honorable mention goes to No Thumbs Up. Now, it's an honorable mention because this is not actually a podcast. This is it's a crazy production on YouTube of a squad of 5 men talking about movies, riffing on movies, teasing each other, laughing, and it's actually a lot of fun. It's a great show. I would call it a show, not a podcast, but they do have a little intro, and it is fantastic. It's perfect. It's kind of like Joe Rogan. No thumbs up. I can't imitate it, but it was really great, and I think it's fantastic. The only thing, and the audio quality is pretty good too, guys, despite 5 different men on the screen at one time. The only thing I would recommend doing is, you guys are funny. You guys are very interesting and entertaining, but who are you? Put your names on the screen. You've already got great video editing skills. I can see that. So just pop their names up there. That doesn't have to be very big. Maybe they can flash in and flash out sometimes. But put their names, everybody's name on the screen so we can see that throughout the episodes that you guys create. and the entertainment value is high. So honorable mention. Thanks, guys. If you ever do a podcast, hopefully it won't be as chaotic. With video, it's no problem. But if you do a podcast, please let me know. And if we critique you, I know TJ would be happy to create some sort of intro for you. But again, I love your intro right now. It's fantastic. If you would like your podcast critiqued and have the chance to get a free intro from TJ, please send us an email, contact@introoutrobed.com. That's it for this episode, short and sweet. Thank you so much for listening. Hit us up on the email, contact@introoutrobed.com. Mike, that's me, at introoutrobed.com. We're on Facebook. We're on Instagram. We're on YouTube, introoutrobed.com. You might have to Google us, but we're there. If you're listening on iTunes, I think by episode 2, we should be on iTunes. It might be episode 3. Please give us a thumbs up. On YouTube, give us a thumbs up, 5-star rating, leave a comment. That means so much, and it helps other people find us. If nobody says anything, then nobody's going to listen to us, and we'll be very sad. We want to critique you. Send us your podcast, and we'll check it out. And if we do critique you, TJ is going to make you a custom-made intro to your liking. Now, we'll work until you like it. So thank you very much. Have a fantastic day. Make a fantastic podcast. And remember, we're here to make your podcast the best.